Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on Nashville Super Speedway as we're coming off of a jam-packed Coca-Cola 600 in which we saw a surprise winner of John Hunter Nemechek on fuel strategy late in the going as we come into a new weekend of racing, and the bracket challenge kicks off as well this weekend, which is very exciting as everybody in the top 32 in the standings will be going head to head against a driver of choice, and we'll update every episode what the bracket looks like. Basically going into next episode you'll see what the new bracket is, so on and so forth. We have, of course, 16 matchups, and we are going head-to-head today against Eric Jones. Now, the way NASCAR is doing this is they're going in the playoff format order. So, example, the likes of Eric Jones, Shane Van Gisbergen, and John Hunter Nemechek, they actually all jump up the seeding towards some of the top spots available in the top 10 because they have won races, putting them up the playoff order, which hence why I'm going against Eric Jones, who's, of course, locked into the playoffs right now. So it's going to be really interesting to watch that kind of system play out. I mean, looking at some other matchups, Kyle Larson's going against Justin Haley, should be pretty straightforward. Hamlin versus Stenhouse as well. Maybe some of the tight ones, Ty Gibbs versus Bubba Wallace, Buescher versus Chastain, Bowman, Keselowski. Those are some tight matchups that we'll have to kind of pay attention to. And of course, like I said, going into the next episode is when you'll see the updated bracket, and of course you can kind of do the math yourself at the end of the episode if you want as well. But we have one driver we're focused on beating, and that's the number 43 of Eric Jones as we come through into qualifying this weekend. And of course, $1 million is going to go to the winner of this bracket challenge. Will we be the winner of the bracket challenge? I feel like it's going to be quite a tall order to make this happen, but at the same time, never say never as we come through turn 3 and off of turn 4 in this Cracker Barrel 400 qualifying attempt now with that sponsor goal of a top 25 to the line. P21, pretty competitive there with a 29.6 flat. So yeah, pretty stoked with that effort as Denny Hamlin puts it on pole over Kyle Larson, Blaney, Byron Bell, your top 5. Where's the driver we're going up against? Eric Jones. It looks like we out-qualified him. He's 25th. So as of right now, things are looking pretty promising coming into this weekend of racing. Elio Castroneva is there. He's at the bottom of the grid there. He's in the field for Project 91 this weekend now as we are ready to go racing Sunday evening here from Nashville. It's going to be an exciting one now under the lights eventually after first stage is complete as we get ready to strap into this Grillo's Pickles number 85 and look to have a better night of racing. Of course, Charlotte, I felt like we had a top 25 car and we just never had things quite go our way. Clearly, it looks like we got that top 25 speed again here this weekend in Nashville. We just hope things are going to go our way. Only one way to find out, and that's by taking the green flag here from Nashville Super Speedway. We're racing in Nashville as Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson lead the field down into turn 1 for 22 laps in this first and opening stage here. Now going to be pretty straightforward. A pit stop is going to be necessary in all 3 stages, so as well green flag pit stops are very possible here tonight as we head down this back straightaway on this opening lap. You got the 71 of Michael McDowell lined up behind us. He's on the inside of his teammate of Justin Haley as I'm on the inside of the 38 of Zane Smith, now rolling through 3 and off turn 4. Right off the bat a little bit tight now as definitely going to need some adjustments. It's always really difficult for me to kind of get an idea of what I want to do going into the race, and I saw someone ask that in the comments, why don't I make adjustments pre-race? Sometimes I do, but I only do when I have a very clear idea of what I need to do, because a lot of the times in qualifying we put up a really solid effort and as well the car feels pretty good, and it's not until the race when I'm around the other drivers when I realize the flaws of the car, and that's why I usually wait until stage 1 to make the adjustments. Unless I said like it's obvious, which it has been a few times this season, then I'll make some adjustments before the race starts. So hopefully that answers your question now as we have dropped to 22nd, and there's our bracket tournament challenge driver of Eric Jones just behind myself as we're to the inside of the number 2 discount tire Ford Mustang of Austin Cindric at a turn 4. Jones going to cut to my inside. We were very briefly 3 wide now, but both of these guys are going to clear me on the run into turn 1, and definitely wasn't happy with the way this Boost Energy Toyota Camry was acting on the inside line. Definitely realizing right off the bat right now I'm going to have to do this. Move up the racetrack, and this would change everything. As soon as I move up the racetrack, we get a nice run on the outside of the 43 of Eric Jones, and we're starting to go forward now. So clearly another racetrack on the schedule where you can definitely run higher up. Now I think if we continue to adjust the car, we can probably make it just as strong on the inside line as it is right here on the outside as well. So I'm not too worried about that now, as we'll look to the outside of the 2 of Cindric, who leaves us no room on the exit of turn 4, and we actually come together and hit the outside wall. So we continue on. Fortunately, no damage to either the 2 or myself, but definitely I guess he just didn't really see me coming out there, unfortunately now. So we have to kind of settle back in and start working our way back forward, which is right again to the back of this 43 of Eric Jones. And on lap 8, down the back straightaway with that momentum on the top line, we're going to pass that 43 into turn number 3, and we'll move ourselves back up into 22nd, having a way better start than we did in the Coke 600, that's for sure, as Denny Hamlin continues to lead this race. Now Eric Jones, he would eventually kind of fade back a little bit behind us. He'd gotten passed now by Zane Smith, and we were not far already away from green flag pit stops at this point now, as if we pit now, we can make it to the end of the stage. So pit window is open, but we still have 8 laps of fuel in the car, so we can stretch this. I mean, we've got 11 laps to go. I mean, we can stretch this nearly to the end of the stage, but out of turn 2, lap 14, costly error right there. We catch the outside wall, and just the more I was running the top, the tighter I was getting, burning the right front, and you can see we pay the consequences eventually for that. So I was pretty well ready to get into the pits at this point, because I was in kind of, you know, struggle city at this point now, as we will still continue to fight with this 43 of Eric Jones. It looks like we might spend a lot of tonight racing around the guy that we have to beat to move on in this in-season tournament. But I would hang in there until lap 17, when my crew chief recommends now coming into the pits here at the conclusion of this lap. Nobody is coming to the pits yet, but we're going to come in. We're going to make a big adjustment there, 49.0 on the wedge, and actually follow Eric Jones into the pits. It's only going to be me and him coming in right here, and as these laps go on, we're going to see everybody eventually come in. I can confirm nobody can make it, thankfully, to the end of the stage, and watching our mirror, we're going to easily beat the 43 out of the pit lane. So a rare moment of where we actually have a better pit stop and gain track position, but as we get back onto the surface here now, it's all about just executing on the pit exit as we go through on this access road towards the back straightaway. We got everything right here, and as we would come back around to just a few laps to go in stage number 1, Kyle Larson's now pitting from the lead of this race, and we should be top 25 when we come back around. We were ending up 22nd, as Denny Hamlin just started the final lap of the stage now, as he would retake the lead through the pit cycle, and now we're fighting with AJ Allmendinger at this point into turn 3. I see Michael McDowell up there. We've got a comfortable gap on the 43 of Jones, and as we exit turn 4, big run to the inside of the Leaf Filter Colleague Chevrolet. 1 lap to go in stage 1, and we are having a very, very solid opening few laps to this race so far now, and here on the inside now, making it work, but I can tell right there, right in the center of the corner, it starts to push up a little bit. So we still definitely need to work on this car a little bit more to make it stronger on the inside, even though we did complete the pass. Denny Hamlin wins stage number 1. 10th place is about to cross the line, bringing out the yellow P21 for us here in this first and opening stage. Pretty content with that effort going into stage number 2. We might see some interesting strategy. Sure enough, we do. Eric Jones is the only one pitting. Everybody else stays out. I want track position, and I also want to be well in front of my bracket challenge competitors, so I decide to stay out as well. As you can see though, we gained 3 spots, so clearly 2 other drivers pitted as well. We're just not sure who. So as we retake the green flag to kick off the second stage, now it's completely dark outside. They really got to fix that, or not fix that, but change that, because why does it go from, you got 3 stages of transition you can do, but you go from stage 1 to 2 and it's barely sunset, and now it's completely dark. It was the same thing in Charlotte. There needs to be a sunset stage. If you're not going to give us proper day-to-night transitions in the big year of 2026, at least give us like a sunset stage in between the barely sunset stage and then the actual night stage. But that's, you know, maybe hopefully for NASCAR 26, where in my opinion we should have full day-to-night transitions by that game anyways. But as we head down into turn 1 here, you look at the lap count there, so very similar to stage 1 once again, as I'm very, very happy with the way the car is driving at this point, might I mention as well. I mean, we've got some serious speed this weekend. clear top 20 speed, and that's a big deal for us now. And we are continuing to just rip the top now, and the better we made this car, the better it was ripping the top. And where we're now to the back of the 6 and to the outside of the 71, Keselowski here, we're gonna have a big run right here on the exit of turn 4. Not gonna quite be able to get to the outside of him. He's gonna cover that, but now as we head down the tri-oval, give him a big slam to the back bumper, push him forward, and then we'll try to get him here on the exit of turn 2. Denny Hamlin continues to lead. This is what I want to see. Keselowski goes a little higher, makes it easy for me. I'm going to go 3 wide to the outside as we exit turn 2, and Keselowski's going to crowd us into the wall down the back straightaway. Contact, major contact. We're bouncing off each other. Keselowski's going to go spinning in the background. Caution's going to fly. He's going to collect, I believe that's the 7 as well, of Haley. Caution is out here from Nashville. What was Brad Keselowski doing? As a caution's out for the first time for cause, nobody's going to pit, so we will stay out with the rest of the field and get ready for a restart. Not what I was expecting from Keselowski. Maybe the 71 might have kind of crowded him up and he didn't really have any choice but to run into me. But clearly, I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I was alongside. I left plenty of room. I was pretty well against the wall. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Keselowski expected me to do differently there, but it might have honestly been the 71 kind of crowding him up. So I'll go a little bit easy on Keselowski. Obviously not a great situation right there. We have kind of been in a bit of a sequence of races lately of getting ourselves into trouble. Shane Van Gisbergen, Noah Gragson last race, Zane Smith trying to turn me head on in the inside wall, and now we come into Nashville and it's kind of a continuation of some more compounding run-ins with some veterans of the sport, might I mention as well. I mean, it's not like it's only like these young rookies or young drivers that we're fighting with. No, it's a lot of veterans of the sport, which obviously doesn't make a good rep for you. But as we continue on, still running in a pretty solid position here to the back now of Ryan Preece on lap 14, and we're going to look to the outside of Ryan Preece here on the exit of turn 2, and he's going to do the same thing that Keselowski did. Preece puts us into the outside wall. He's going to go spinning down the back straightaway into turn 3, and now the caution's going to fly again. Are you kidding me? That's the second time.
Pit road is open.
I don't know what I need to do differently. I was alongside him there, and I left him plenty of room. And you hear my case. Everyone's going to pit. We're going to take tires. We're going to take fuel. We got a few repairs to make, but I mean, what am I supposed to do there? Clearly, there's an AI issue if you're on the outside of them in Nashville, because they will just drive into you. So Logano and I believe, I was going to say Eric Jones, I can't quite tell, but 2 drivers stayed out. So as we retake the green flag, Joey Logano is now leading the field to green, and we've got, basically 5-6 laps to go in the stage as we head down into turn number 1. But, I mean, yeah, really frustrating stage 2 here. And even, I mean, honestly, the bright side is, in all the struggles we were having in Charlotte, we were also running like crap. At least today we're having some of these problems and we're still running, in the top 20. It shows you the capabilities and speed that we have this weekend here in Nashville. Now as we're right to the back of the 16 of Allmendinger, we'll give him a nice lunge forward right there off the back bumper now with 5 laps to go in stage number 2. Denny Hamlin very quickly back to the lead of this race in this progressive number 11 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing now as we'll look to the outside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Clear him, no problems there. Now taking that momentum to the inside of the 16 into turn number 3, and as we continue on here, we are actually now, even with more adjustments in this car, really able to get this inside line rolling as well, which is another kind of big step forward, because we had kind of struggled earlier in the race getting that inside line to really kind of kick in. So as we're coming up on the final 2 laps, we're 3 wide to the outside of Ty Gibbs down the front straightaway. This time Ty Gibbs had no problem leaving me room right there, and now we're to the back of Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson not having a good run right here. He's kind of lost position because he was stuck behind the other guy that stayed out, which I believe was the one of Chastain, potentially. Now as we'll look to the outside of Kyle Larson, is this a mistake? Of course, yep, the 5 is going to put us in the wall now. So it seems like out of turn 2, if you go to the outside of somebody, and especially if they're 3 wide, not always, I mean, we weren't 3 wide with Ryan Preece, but if they're 3 wide especially, it seems like it's almost like you're doomed. So something we need to be really careful with as we start the final lap here of this stage, and going into the final stage, like, okay, I know I know what we don't need to do now, but obviously if I'm in a situation where I think, we got to kind of take the momentum, I'll take it 3 wide as we clip the outside wall, unfortunately, and that's going to allow Zane Smith to pass me into turn number 3. So we'll drop to P19. Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin takes stage 2. We'll at least hold on still to the 19th. Hold on, maybe 18th. Not quite. 19th at the line, and that will wrap up the second stage here from Nashville. It's been a pretty eventful stage 2, and we're going to come in and get 4 tires, get some feel. We have dropped the wedge now to 48.5, and I was pretty happy after the tire pressure changes and wedge adjustments that the car was in a really good spot. Now it's just we got to stay out of trouble basically, and if we can do that, I feel pretty confident going into this final stage. So we'll see what happens here now as we get ready to go back racing. One more stage to go here from Nashville. Can we finish this one out in the fashion that we've started it in here now? It's going to be 30 laps of racing, so it's a 1 pit stop race to make it to the end from here as we're on the inside of the number 54 of Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs in that kind of bubble area trying to make the playoffs, but after John Hunter Nemechek winning last episode in Charlotte, it really changes the playoff picture. Instead of a 10 to 30 point battle between drivers that are just outside of the cut line, it's going to extend to a pretty large gap. Like we're talking like nearly 100 points. So we still got, a good 10 races at least before the playoffs. So there's a lot of time for things to change. So don't rule out, any playoff swings still. But it's going to be interesting to see if they actually kind of come into fruition as we continue on into the bulk part of this summer stretch of the season. Don't forget, we got some more super speedway racing. We still got Atlanta coming up in just a couple of races. We have as well Daytona in the regular season finale. Then we have a couple of road courses on the way with Chicago Street Course, which I'm super excited for, might I mention. Sonoma, as well as Watkins Glen. Those are the 3 tracks that we got circled. And speaking of circles, the 48's going in those as he's crashed into the outside wall. Alex Bowman, another crash here. And just like the Coke 600, that's going to be a huge hit to his night as the caution is out and everybody will stay out. We're not quite in the fuel window as of right now. Alex Bowman actually pits, so he goes to the back of the field, and as also as well the bracket in tournament situation, we are obviously beating the 43 of Eric Jones right now, so we're in a good position on that front as well as we go back green on lap 52 of 75. I feel like depending on if we do get another caution or not, if we can go another 5-6 laps and get a caution, I think we'll be in the field window. Speaking of Eric Jones, he's now to my left side, so just when I thought we were in a good spot, he is right alongside me as we head down into turn number 3, and obviously I'm just going to rip the top here now and roll that momentum off the corner, carry this momentum down the front straightaway right to the back of the 6 of Keselowski. Actually trying to go to his outside, but I kind of decided too late, so instead I kind of boosted him forward there with that hit to his back bumper. Denny Hamlin has been dominant in this race. Could he find victory lane here tonight? Now, as I'm going to think better of that one, I backed out of it there. We were going to be 3 wide, and I know for a fact I was going to get put into the outside wall there, and I didn't really feel like it. But Denny Hamlin looking for a second win on the season. It's hard to believe he's only won 1 race so far now, as we're right into the back of the 6 this time down the front straightaway now, giving Keselowski a push forward. But now Eric Jones is in front of us. Here comes Ryan Preece as well, but Jones is now leading our head-to-head bracket setup here. So it's going to be hold on a second, get to the inside, we'll pass the 22 that's crashed into the outside wall. Out of nowhere, that 22 goes crashing and the caution flies one more time. Nobody's going to pit. And I was honestly too afraid to get off strategy at this point, just wanting to kind of maintain track position. So we're just going to go with the flow and stay out again and get ready to go green. So Joey Logano, who just wrecked, is still here to my inside in front of me now, as we'll be lining up behind the 6'3 of Ryan Preece, and one more time we take the green flag from Nashville now, and all of a sudden stage 2, it's or shades of stage 2 I should say, you know, it's been a bit of a wreck fest here so far in stage 3. Obviously this time it's nice because I haven't been the culprit of them, but these restarts are not helping me because now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in between myself and Eric Jones. These restarts are going directly against us as we head down this back straightaway into turn 3. Hamlin continues to lead. Bubba Wallace up there as well in P2, having a really strong night here. Looking very competitive now as we're right to the back of the 42, sorry, of John Hunter Nemechek, their winner last episode in Charlotte. He had a crash early in the race and made him so slow that he saved enough fuel to stretch basically 2-3 laps more than the field to win the Coca-Cola 600. Nobody saw that coming. As we go down this back straightaway, we're going to go right to the back of the Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang of Logano into turn 3. Now Ryan Preece and his boss of Kozlowski on the outside. We're once again running down Eric Jones. We got more trouble in front. It's the 45 spinning through the tri-oval. 3 cautions in just the last handful of laps, and this time everybody's in the pit window. We're going to come in and get tires and feel. We might see some 2-tire stops right here, but I see we're going to have probably 15 laps to go. I am not, they want us to do 2 right side tires. I'm not doing that. We're taking 4. I think we will take 4 tires and finish a lot better than if we take 2 tires right now from P20. So we're going to give up track position a lot. Joey Logano does the same. Logano drops to 40th by taking 4 tires as well as we get ready to go back racing. So as we retake the green flag, now it's, we have a very, very specific dilemma that we got ourselves into. Eric Jones has a comfortable amount of track position on me with only 14 laps to go, but we have a fresh tire advantage. Everybody's got fresh rights, but I got fresh rights and fresh left sides as well. So we hopefully can make that advantage, propel us in front of that 43 and hopefully get us, into the next round of the in-season tournament in fighting for $1 million. Denny Hamlin lost the lead in the pits as well. It's now Christopher Bell out in front in that number 20, now your All-Star winner. He absolutely dominated the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro just a couple of episodes ago. It was absolutely unbelievable. He lapped up to like 5th place. I mean, it was absolutely insane. As we went a couple of laps down, that was honestly the most miserable race of the career mode so far. It was just so boring. Now as we move up to P32 already, and we're just going to continue to work our way forward and actually being pretty cautious, or patient I should say, on the inside here. I know we still got a lot of laps of racing to go, and I would get a little bit over aggressive right here, but it actually worked as I did briefly hit the wall, but I was going 3-4 wide on the exit of turn 2. We're going to pass Alex Bowman around the outside, and then now we're up to P26. You got John Hunter, Josh Berry, Ryan Preece all around us, and right here is where I make a big mistake. I got a little bit too impatient and went to the outside of the 60 of Preece and walled myself with 10 laps to go, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots gone. Bowman finishes me off into turn 1, and Eric Jones is in the next main group of cars. I don't think we're going to run him down with 10 laps to go. We're going to need a caution, and it needs to wait because I need to pass these guys right here in front of me before we even get that caution. So as we go into turn 1 to the inside of Allmendinger, I'm confident I cannot get to Eric Jones right now as Christopher Bell continues to lead this race. Now ripping the top again, and even after getting put in the wall, we're still absolutely moving. We've got fantastic speed in the last 10 laps of this race. We just need, to keep rolling here, and we now pass Preece. We'll go to the outside of John Hunter, hopefully here in turn 3 alongside Josh Berry as well. I can see Eric Jones from here. He is up there about 4 cars ahead. It's just I don't think there's going to be enough time to run him down now as he is. Well, hold on a second. As we come to lap 70, passing Noah Gregson, there's only 1 car between us now, and that's Austin Cindric, and that is Eric Jones. We might actually get to this 43, and as we come towards 5 laps to go, we're really going to get to him. Jones crashes into turn 3. Caution is out. NASCAR overtime, and Jones is pitting. He's going to go to the back, meaning all we have to do is just finish this out, and we will beat him in the in-season tournament bracket, and we'll move on to the next round. So Christopher Bell, who's been leading since the last restarts, in control for NASCAR overtime, as we are right back to where we were when we pitted originally. Can we use whatever advantage we have left of the left side tires and maybe gain some more track position in this NASCAR overtime shootout? Now 2 laps to go. Denny Hamlin's in P3. Watch out for Hamlin. He might still have a chance to catch Christopher Bell off guard and get to victory lane here tonight. Now as we head down this back straightaway, just a lap and a half of racing remains. Now side by side with the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek into turn 3, right up to the outside. Bell is in in control over Hamlin as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway. White flags waving, big run on Cindric and Gregson. I take it to the outside. 1 lap to go from Nashville here into turn 1. Hamlin still right on the back of Christopher Bell. You can see it from a distance. Can Hamlin do anything? We got to run to Chase Elliott. Do we stay with it? Yes, we do. We're probably going to get put in the wall, but we're staying in the throttle. Major contact. Somehow we don't give up track position. Into turn 3. Hamlin's to the inside of Bell and passing him in the final corner. Off of turn 4, Denny Hamlin is going to take back the lead and take his second win of the season here in Nashville, and we get to P18 in overtime. What a race, what a whirlwind of emotions, and we end up moving on in the bracket challenge, and so does Denny Hamlin for reference as well, and we'll have the update on who did not go forward and who did advance in the bracket challenge at the start of next episode. Absolutely epic race that was here in Nashville, as Eric Jones ends up dead last, and boy did that really help me out a lot in the bracket situation. So his unfortunate failure there right at the end of the race benefited me more than anybody else as well. 18th, first of all, just a really respectable effort as we continue to claw our way, making these upgrades now, and we're up to 25th in the standings, overtaking Daniel Suarez, but there you see the playoff situation. So it's Elliott, it's Briscoe, Reddick, Bowman, Bubba Wallace all in on points, and so is Buescher, who's got like a 70-point advantage on Ross Chastain, the first driver out. So a lot of work for those guys to do. They are really having to put themselves in a must-win situation already going into Michigan next episode. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.